Hello and welcome everyone. So today we are going to talk about how to design the tokenomics for your project. My name is Arthur. I'm co-founder and CEO at XP Market. I've been in crypto since early 2017. Started as crypto analyst, day trader, then I worked as business developer. Now we're running our own project. So based on that, I have quite a good understanding on what the tokenomics should like both from the project side and from the investor side. And when you design tokenomics, you have to pay attention at both. So before we talk about tokenomics, you have to get an analogy that tokens are like local currency of your hometown, like a country, like a dollar, peso, euro, pound, anything. So it's highly complicated system, but when you talk about tokens, it shares some similarities, but it's much simpler. And let's dive into what you need to design it. I will not be able to tell you what to do exactly or what not to do exactly, because there is no one size fits all. Based on what you build, you will have to adjust. But there are some general rules to follow. First of all, you have to understand the utility of a token. You need to think whether you need your token at all, who is your target audience, what your token should do. Because remember, token can be a really powerful tool, both for attracting an investment, but also for building the community. But on the other side, it's a huge burden. If you imagine it as a currency of a country, so if you're a government, it costs a lot of money to mint coins, print the bills, transport them across the country, maintain the whole infrastructure to transact financially. This is all expensive. Money is expensive. So are the tokens. You have to think about the liquidity in the future. You have to think about the listings. Listings are expensive. If you want to do an IEO, this is also expensive. You have to pay for market making. Otherwise, your token might go to doom. Also, if you're making a token, you have to understand that really good tokenomics can make any project shine. Even if it's quite mediocre project, good tokenomics will do the job. But if you have an amazing project, but you have really poorly designed tokenomics, what it will end up with, the price will go likely to close to the zero, community will get disappointed, and most likely you will be called scam while you're not a scam. So keep this in mind. Once you figured out that, yes, you need a token, you know what you're going to do with it, and you're sure that it's a good way for you, we need to figure out some basic economics at this stage. So what do I mean about basic economics? So first of all, inflationary, deflationary. Most projects will go with deflationary. By deflationary, I mean that you have fixed total supply. It will not increase. In our case, it's black hole. This is the most done, but if you're doing something like play-to-earn game, most likely you will have infinite supply. And that's a lot of inflation. That's like Argentinian peso. Then we need to talk about numbers. How many tokens do you need? Is it hundreds, millions, trillions? Well, there is no good number here, but there are some sweet spots around. You have to think as your consumer will use it. You want it to be convenient. You want to easily understand the price, how many tokens you need. So there is an example like Bitcoin. There's 21 million as a total supply. Then there's XRP with 100 billion total supply. So what do you want? Well, look at your competitors. Understand which market cap you might target. It's hard to predict, especially if you build something novel, but there's always something similar that you can look around. Once you understood this, you can walk around the numbers, understand which price you want. If you're going to do a private sale with a public sale, you need a price. You will work it from the market cap and the total supply. In my opinion, this is personal opinion, a sweet spot is about 250 million to a billion. Everything that goes below, probably too large number. Everything that's way above, well, I have an example on the right. I have no idea what price of those tokens is, because I just look at the table, I see many zeros. For me as a consumer, I don't understand what's the price. And tokenomics is a very powerful psychological tool. And there are quite examples. So let's take Shiba coin or Dogecoin. You're all aware of it. The paradox of this coin is that people think that the coin will go to $1. And that's unlikely to happen because if Shiba goes to $1, it will overtake Bitcoin. Unlikely. But new investors or new speculators, people who just entered the market, they are unlikely to buy Bitcoin, quoting the reason that it's too expensive. What is too expensive? They measure it by a unit number, by a unit price. So it's 20K. Is it expensive? Yes. Its market cap, whatever, billion. Then we go to Ethereum. It's cheaper. Its market cap probably half of the Bitcoin. I don't remember the number, but still expensive. And then people go to something like Shiba, which might get to $1. Then we have other examples, like extreme, like Cardano, XRP. These are like sweet spots. They're sub-dollar. They're easily to divide and transfer. So I would say somewhere between 250 million to $1 billion. This is where you may want to target. And also remember that token ticker and token name is really important. This is a face of your company, of your project. You have to name it well. Normally, when you go with a ticker, you would like between 3 to 4 symbols. And remember that 4 symbols gives you 500,000 of unique variations to name your token. I believe this is more than enough to come up with a fancy ticker. But still, well, if that's not enough, you can go with 5. But I would say that's the limit, because you have also think about the future. If your token has really long name, first of all, it's inconvenient both for you and exchanges in future. Imagine you go to trade to Binance. You're lucky you got listed on Binance. And now you have to find this token. You're typing it, and the name is so huge that it basically ruins Binance user interface that it doesn't fit. And many companies, including CoinMarketCap, will actually refuse to work with you if your token is way too long. So keep in mind, you want beautiful name, easily to be recognized. Don't always name your token ticker the same as your token name. Do not mix up those two things. There is project name and there's token name. And please do not make that many zeros. It makes our platform crash as well. Then the distribution. So you understood how many tokens you need. You know what your tokens are going to do. You're comfortable in this position. So until this stage, you have locked pretty much all the numbers. And remember that you can still shuffle some numbers until you go public. Once you go public, specs are pretty much locked. So imagine distribution as a budget for a country. So you live, let's say, in the US, and you dedicate some money to healthcare, to the infrastructure, to military and defense. This is exactly how it works with the tokenomics. You have to allocate certain portions to certain categories. It can be marketing, it can be your team, it can be your partners, private sale, public sale. Depends on your project needs. This can vary a lot, but what I have mentioned just now is kind of like a standard set. If you're also doing like play-to-earn game, you'll obviously need quite a large treasury to distribute those rewards. If you're doing DAO, then probably you need as many tokens in circulation so that people can easily vote and it is more decentralized. So there are 2 examples. One example, well, I will not name the tokens, but it's important to know that from the investor's point of view, I will look at 2 things. I will go to the abstract, I will read what your project is about, and then I will skip straight to the tokenomics, because well-designed tokenomics can tell me much more than the whole white paper. If I see tokenomics poorly designed, I will probably discard your white paper, and that's it. So you are losing an investor, and if I'm discarding it, probably other VCs will do it as well. So you really want to grab the attention. So in the first example on the table, you can see that there is quite a large chunk which goes to the team, and they place themselves first. So quite shows the focus, I say. They claim the token lock is present, but in fact it is not. Then they quote public sale and then some other categories with no lockup. No lockup is normally a bad idea because you have to consider about listings in future, how you're going to maintain your price, because it is your job, it is your token, it is your responsibility to take care of your token. And once it's listed, the less circulating supply you have at start, the better for you to maintain it. And you would normally like to plan your token release, so basically dilution of your circulating supply, in accordance with the adoption of token. It's very hard to predict, but you have to set like milestones and say like, yeah, probably in half a year I'm going to release this feature. I expect it to attract twice as much audience I have. Then probably twice as much funds will get into the token, and it will be easier to release it and dilute it. And the second example is the distribution by wallet. So this was taken from our XP market. So this is how the wallet looks like. 80% of the tokens are located inside one wallet. And that's pretty much red flag for me. I would not buy it simply because I know that 80% of wallet are somewhere there. And if I buy, what's going to happen in half a year? Because I know what the token is. I went to look at their white paper. There's no information on lockups. And that's a huge risk to me as a speculator. So probably I'm going to skip. On the other hand, there is nothing bad having 80% of tokens locked in a wallet. But I would like to see those distributed according to a budget which I showed you. So please take this 80% and put 20% private investors, 20% team, 20% something else. That answers quite a lot of questions. So this is how XP Market has structured their tokenomics. This is not a golden standard. This is how we envision and how we think it suits us the most. So we came up with a number of 500 million tokens, 500 million, and 2 cents per token for public sale, which gives us fully diluted valuation at 10 million. 10 million, we take this number by calculating our competitors, looking what is being done on the industry, and general our expectations from the market. Then we divide our allocations based on where the tokens will go. Obviously, we in a private token sale, we are distributing these tokens to private investors. And each of those have their own prices and rounds. They're based on the time. So obviously, someone invested in our token early last year, and they were exposed to the most risk when there was no platform, just an idea. They get the largest discount, but they also get quite a large lockup period. Someone who is investing quite late, they already see a whole platform functioning, they see the community, they see the audience. The risk is minimal, hence discount is minimal. But they still have all lockup periods, and they also have a cliff, the period when no tokens will be released. Then we have public sale. This is the period when we will distribute the tokens to the public through an IEO, ideally. And then we have other features like launch incentives, listings, liquidity, and marketing. Don't forget that once AMM rolls out on XRPL, it's normally expected you will place between $100,000 to $500,000 to support the liquidity of your token. So that's the normal requirement for a pool if you want your token to be liquid. Then there's ecosystem fund, which we will use for promotional activities, then partners, and the team. Also, pay attention how much our team gets the tokens. It's 15%, and the slide before was 35. This is also quite high number. And just a quick announcement which has to be delivered by my partner, who is not present right now. So yesterday, we launched the brand new look of our platform, XP Market. So now we have quite a full experience. We have decentralized exchange interface. We have very beautiful interface. You can track your portfolio. Basically, once you enter XP Market, you can be looped within the same ecosystem and do not have to travel anywhere else. So if you have any feedback as well, please let us know. And with that, I will conclude my presentation. Also, if you would like to grab the same T-shirt I'm wearing right now, I have my friends on the back. Then please come and grab a T-shirt as a thank you for listening for my talk.